Hello and welcome to a brand new episode of the Nerdpocalypse Podcast. I'm your host, Jay. I'm here with my co-host, Micah.
Hello.
All right, guys, we are back. There are things to talk about, so we're going to get right into it. Micah, you watched The Unbearable Weight of Massive Talent, as you were obligated to see.
Correction, I watched the most perfect movie ever made. No, it's a fun movie. It's a movie that that could work without Nicolas Cage, right? If it was just about some made up actor,
right?
But it's a movie that works because it is Nicolas Cage.
That's fair.
And it's kind of like it doesn't reach the point of self-indulgence like on a serious level, but because he's like playing a fictionalized version of himself, and
right,
and he's like got visions of a younger version of him who is an even more like fictionalized version of himself. Right. This is like Nick Cage now versus Nick Cage back then when he was like hot shit and like you couldn't tell him nothing. Like it's cool, man. Nicolas Cage plays Nicolas Cage, who is struggling in his career, and he gets one more gig from his manager, and then he's just like, you know what, I can't do this anymore. I'm going to quit acting. I'm going to take this last gig and then I'm going to quit acting because I can't do it anymore. And he goes off to this island where this guy who is a benefactor. He is a gigantic Nicolas Cage fan, and it becomes kind of like a buddy movie.
Right.
And it's really good, man. Like if you like Nicolas Cage, like if you can appreciate Nicolas Cage for like Nicolas Cage is an interesting guy, right? And I think people like Nicolas Cage for like the wrong reasons, right? Because they like Nicolas Cage when he's like screaming and shit, like and he's like ha ha ha, like that. They're laughing at Nicolas Cage.
Right.
If you are the type of person who laughs with Nicolas Cage, you're gonna love this movie.
I feel like it celebrates his, like, it takes a special type of actor to appreciate your flaws and to kind of laugh at yourself. Because I'm not sure, like, Hollywood is full of a lot of very self-serious people, right? So we'll talk about that later. Take a guess. That nigga. But like, it's full of self-serious people. The best example of that is looking at the people who don't laugh during Ricky Gervais' Golden Globe stuff, right? Where he's just ripping on people in Hollywood. Like if the people who aren't laughing are all incredibly self-serious and they can't just like make fun of themselves.
The Sean Penns of the world.
Right. Yeah. Right. Like, ironically, not that I'm like pretending like, he's my favorite actor now, which is like a new thing. But like Johnny Depp, like did a joke with Ricky Gervais about being offended by that, right? Like he is clearly not in that regard that self-serious, right? He could appreciate the joking of Hollywood. So I feel like Nicolas Cage is one of those guys that realizes like Hollywood's kind of ridiculous. And he's slightly a ridiculous person, but I think he does a lot of his ridiculous things because he's in Hollywood, because he knows that that's the environment he's in. So you might as well live it up, right? So I think very few actors could pull off this type of movie, and it's kind of cool to see him do it.
I think Nicolas Cage, one of the reasons why people, I think, like or should like Nicolas Cage in a genuine way is that Nicolas Cage is 100% Nicolas Cage. He's real, right? Yeah. Like he is who he is, and he is not putting on airs. He is not pretending to be a character. Like that guy that you see, like he's the type of guy that uses the phrase "call of the wild" in like a legitimate conversation.
Dude, you know, I told you that, right? Like
that's why I got it from. Yes.
I was on a conference call with about, I don't even remember the movie, I just like it was an opportunity to like possibly interview Nicolas Cage or just possibly just hear him talk off the cuff. And it was a conference call with all the actors in this movie. They occasionally do those calls, and he's talking about it, and the director's talking about it, and he used the term "Call of the Wild." I was like, "Call of the Wild? Who talks like that?" That's who he is. Like that's just who he is.
That's who he is, and people should respect that. In a business that is full of people who lie for a living, Nicolas Cage is the genuine article,
right?
And I believe that he took a bunch of different roles and stuff when he had his tax problems and stuff like that. Like they kind of make reference to that in this movie, and he says like every single one of those roles, like he really liked the character. I half believe him.
Yeah,
right?
half.
I half believe him.
Right.
I think he thinks that, but I also think that he knows that he needs money.
Yeah, no, that's absolutely
or needed it. So yeah, man, like it's cool, man. It's a nice little movie. I think it's a solid watch if you're just kind of it's a light breezy kind of movie. It's a meta movie. It's something you can just kind of sit back and just enjoy and laugh at these performances. Right. Yes, highly recommend.
All right, I'm gonna check it out. My wife loves Nicolas Cage. She actually does. Like she doesn't see a lot of his movies because she doesn't watch a lot of television, anything. But she's loved him since like Leaving Las Vegas. So she's like she loves how how wacky he is. She does.
You know why? Because your wife's an artist, and so is Nicolas Cage.
He is
and like artists, like not people with artistic talent.
Yeah, they're all a bit wacky.
Yeah, like real artists. Like I could draw a little bit, but I'm not an artist because I'm not like fucking weird, right?
You're different in other ways, buddy.
Yeah, very much so. Don't you forget it.
Yeah. Right.
But yeah, man, this movie was fun, light little movie.
All right, that's cool. All right, moving on from there. Let's talk about The Boys, season 3, episode 1 and 2. Look, it still remains one of the best shows on TV. It does, man. It's that good. I think it is. It is just what is the term? Outkicking its coverage, right? Like it is outkicking its coverage as far as the original source material, right? Like it is so much better than the original comic book, which I enjoyed. Like if you're like,
I enjoyed it until I forget when The Boys comic just really fell off.
It does. Like a little past halfway, it gets like really fucking weird, and I'm just like, all right, I think I've had enough.
Yeah, but this is consistent. Now there are 3 episodes out. I've only watched the first 2.
I'm sorry. Was it 3 episodes? Yeah, you're right. 3 episodes.
Yeah, 3 episodes out. I've only watched the first 2.
I've seen all of them.
It's been 2 years since season 2, and I forgot how like gory The Boys is. Like I was taken aback in the first 10 minutes of that first episode. I was like, holy shit, right? Like just like fucking wincing and shit. Jesus, man.
They cranked it up in this season too.
Yeah, I think this show is very much needed. Because superhero movies are all the rage, and this is the Ricky Gervais of superhero movies, right? Like this show is taking shots at these movies, and they need to be, right? Like,
yeah, it's totally fine. It's totally fine,
right? It's like people take stuff like this way too seriously, and forming tribal allegiances and shit. Like, most of these superhero movies are made for kids, guys.
Yeah,
and
why are you yelling at each other?
Right.
You're 40. Relax.
But yeah, I think The Boys is needed, and it's great. It's great, man. Once I got past the all the fucking Mortal Kombat 11 style fatalities and gore and shit, I fell right back into it. And
but it's really good storytelling too, right? Like it's not just like the violence in the, you know, like the comedy of it, and all of that is great. Like it's really well timed and like has moments of like absolute seriousness and stuff like that work really, really well. But it's also just great storytelling, and like I really enjoy the story that they're portraying. Like it's fun. Here's a little fun thing to think about when you think about The Boys and sort of like where superhero movies and TV shows live right now, and like the conversations around them. A lot of conversations tend to be there seems to be sort of this battle back and forth of like what is like too woke, and like this is too woke, or this isn't woke enough, or whatever, right? Especially around comic movies and stuff like that. The Boys is the most woke show on television. And I think that people don't understand that or don't realize it because it has violence and sex in it. And so they think that it's not. The entire premise of that show is about what would happen if you basically gave the police unfettered weaponry. Right? And what does that do to a society? That's what the superheroes are, right?
If the police were PMCs, like if there were
PMCs, what does that mean?
Private military corporations,
right?
Not even just like government, not government, because like don't forget, like Vought is a company.
Yeah, they're a corporation.
Amazon,
right?
Vought is Amazon, and they are the ones sponsoring the Seven, not the government.
Right.
That's even worse.
Right. And the thing is, the entire premise of the show pushes back on that idea of like what quote unquote woke is, because it's like the show spends all of its time talking about militarization, talking about corporatization, right? Like, you know, sexual abuse, right? Like you haven't made it to the third episode, but like there's a big conversation around sexual harassment and sexual abuse. Like there's a lot of things like that. And I noticed that no one ever calls The Boys woke. And I think it's because people just think it's got violence in it, so it's not woke. Like pay attention to the topics that they're talking about. Like that's how I know, not to be a dick, but I'm going to say this because I can't imagine it's not true. The reason why people are totally fine with this or don't come after, like the kind of Snyder Cut folks don't come after this as being like goofy and stupid, is because of the violence, but they completely miss the point of it, that like you can have dark shit, but it also be like funny and entertaining and actually be about something, right? Like the Snyder stuff was trying to be like dark, but it's like trying to tell this serious thing. It didn't tell anything. It wasn't a commentary on anything, which is the whole point of doing like dark takes on otherwise lighter things. But The Boys takes a dark take on an otherwise lighter thing, but it has something to say. That's why the show works. Like, never forget that the entire second season was about the alt-right, right? Like, quite literally about taking Nazism and rebranding it as something that was more acceptable for mainstream right-wing folks. Like that's what that whole second. Yeah, she quite literally says it.
She says something to the effect of you know, she's a fucking racist and a bigot, and she's like, you know, I'm right. People just don't like the word Nazi.
Yeah. That was it. That's a pretty woke fucking conversation to be having on a comic book show. Like it is. Everything about that show, like even the comic book, was all about this idea of like corporatism and stuff like that. That's the whole premise of the book. Like the fact that they go to I think it's in episode 2, they go to Vaughtland, right? Like they go to the amusement park, right? And what's everywhere? All the pride shit is everywhere, right? Like this massive corporation that doesn't give a fuck about gay folks or LGBT anything. Vought cares about pride and all this other shit. No, they don't.
Right. Meanwhile, Queen Maeve, an in the closet lesbian, right? Like they don't want her to come out. Like, yeah, you're 100% right. This show is what we want progressivism to be. Like it has teeth to it. You
Right,
know what I mean?
right.
Instead of just like, well, maybe we shouldn't do that.
Right. No, fuck that. Talk your shit. Talk your shit. Look, they got a head exploding AOC in this show, for God's sake.
Right.
They do. Who the fuck you think that woman is? She's supposed to be
That's
AOC,
exactly
dude.
who she is.
Of course.
That's exactly who she is.
Right. She's literally a character who's like, hey, maybe all these superheroes and all these other guys are real pieces of shit, but like she also plays the game. She's also involved in the game, dude. Like, everybody ain't so fucking clean as you think they are on the surface. That's the point of that character, right? Like, so if you're talking about what is woke, what is not woke, The Boys is the most woke fucking comic book show, period. By far. Like, and I find it funny that no one ever says that. This is because of the violence. So people just, it's got blood and guts. Like, yo, that's not the message of the show. Like, it really is.
And that's the thing, right? Like it's a very clever way to get people into stuff like that, right? Yep. But then it's just one of those, you can lead a horse to water, but you can't make them drink.
Right, because you got to actually understand that to pick up on the messaging. That's the problem.
Meanwhile, people are like, Homelander this, Homelander that. Meanwhile, fucking Zack Snyder is probably creaming in his pants looking at Homelander because he is what he wants. Homelander is what Zack Snyder wanted his Superman to be. But couldn't.
Yeah, a complete objectivist, like, doesn't give a fuck about other people. I'll laser every one of you. like that's what he wanted, dude. That's what he wanted. I mean, they quite literally gave a shout out to him, like, on Twitter or whatever. And like Zack Snyder, like, again, like, maybe not a super self-serious guy either, was like, oh, thanks. The trailer for the what was it? The Dawn of the Seven. That was basically copying Justice League in its like in its tone and style and everything else. But people were like, yeah, see, The Boys is awesome. Like, they're making fun of it. They're making fun of it, dude.
They're poking fun at him, yo.
Right.
Like, they're laughing and
Snyder was like, yeah, he got it. Like, he got it. So, like, yeah, I mean, come on, guys. Like, but it is hilarious. Like, The Boys is super woke, man. Like, pick a topic, you know. They like the best part of that show is it does all of that, but then it also has Homelander getting jacked off
right
by a dying Nazi.
By a dying Nazi. A disfigured dying Nazi on her deathbed.
He's like, lower the bed. Yo, wait, she lowered the bed to jerk him off. I fucking lost it. I was like, yo, come on, dude. That show was great. That was great. Yeah. So the Boys is excellent, man. It's as great as it has been. It's cool to see the whole team back together. It's stellar, man. I'm very interested to see how long they go with this. Like, I mean, this is season 3. Like, I feel like this show's got at least another 3 or 4 seasons in it. Like, I really do. And I hope it does. Because if it keeps up to this level. So, it's super cool. We're not going to talk about Obi-Wan. It was pretty much a filler episode. It was fine. But no, like, major details kind of to break down. So, it was fine. All right, let's talk about episode 1 of Miss Marvel. Which in my opinion was not fine. It was fucking excellent. I think this is I think this is the best opening episode of any of the Marvel Disney Plus series. Hands down. I think it's the absolute best. I saw people say, well, it's light on action. So what? so what?
It's a teen drama, you know, like it's a teen comedy drama. Plus, you know,
Is this going to have a villain of much of a villain? I don't even think it will. Not much of one.
This is how I know that people don't read. This is the first chapter of a book. Like, you don't. There's usually not a lot of like you got to build
Duel of the
Fates.
Not a lot of Duel of the Fates in episode 1.
You got to build the world, guys. Like, you got to build the world, and I don't know. I don't know why people don't like the things that I like, and because everything that I like is perfect.
Obvious. Makes sense.
Yeah, this was a really good show. My wife came down to talk to me while I was watching it because I ain't waiting for her, and she was like, I paused it, you know, because I'm not one of those dickheads that's like, your wife's talking to you and you just got the TV on and you're watching the TV and she's just like, blah, 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 blah,
yeah, that's pretty rude.
That's fucking rude. Yo. Like I paused it, right? I paused it. We were talking, and then she was like, "What are you watching?" And I said, "This is not your Mindy Kaling show, because apparently Mindy Kaling has a show on Netflix that she really, really likes." I said, "This is like your Mindy Kaling show with superheroes in it," and she's like, "Oh, well, maybe I'll watch it then." I was like, "Well, maybe you should because it's really good."
And I'm not gonna wait for you.
And I'm not going to wait for you. So forget that. This is a good series. It feels fresh, right? Like I wish I had a better way to describe it, but it feels fresh. It feels different. It's nice to see things from a different perspective. As a man with beard envy, her brother, her brother's coiffed. Beard is fucking, it's immaculate, Like I am mad envious of that beard, man. So at the end of the episode, right, she gets her powers from a magic bangle, and normally in the comics she's an Inhuman and she gets her powers from like being exposed to Terrigen Mist and
right.
And her she's like a polymorph, right? She can like Mr. Fantastic, right? And in this, she's not necessarily a polymorph. It looks like the bracelet is giving her like extensions or substituting that. And I don't mind that idea. I think it works for the screen. I think it works for television.
It's easier to do than on TV.
And it's much easier to do. It's easier on the eyes, and it doesn't look as fake as stretching limbs, right? Because, like, we all know, like, we subconsciously all know what the human body is capable of doing.
Right.
And when we see the human body do things that we know it doesn't do, then people will immediately just kind of discount it. Like, that's too fake. Well, yeah, it's too fake because
it's not real. It's not real.
But I think that using the bracelets and the her appendages being like crystalline, like holograms, I think it really works. I also think they didn't really have the budget to try and make it work. They better do it for Fantastic Four, because like this whole like magical bangle shit ain't gonna work with Reed Richards.
No.
But I like it. I like the main actress. I don't want to butcher this woman's name. But Iman Vellani.
I think that's correct.
I'm just gonna say that. I think she's great. I think she's very personable. I think she's very likable. Apparently, she's a big like MCU fan.
Yes, in like real life.
Yeah, because she's a child, and this is not a child. She's 19, but these are who these movies are actually made for.
She's been around. Like she quite literally grew up with it.
Right.
Like as a little kid, which is perfect. It's fucking perfect for her. God damn.
And it's so wild. Like imagine, right? Like you are a fan of these movies, and then you get to be one playing a character who is a fan of these characters.
Tom Holland.
And now she gets to be one. Like, it's wild, man.
Right. Fucking Tom Holland's the same way. Like, he was mad young like when that first fucking Iron Man movie came out. I mean, it is funny, right? She's 19 years old. Like, she's a year younger than my nephew, who goes with us sometimes to see the Marvel movies. And like when talking to him, he's like, yo, I forget how old he was. He was like, I was like 8 years old when like when Iron Man came out. Like, he's like, those movies, or 12 or whatever, he's like, those movies are like exactly in line when those came out. Like when I like really came into like really understanding movies to some degree, and like really got into like fandom and all that other stuff. That's exactly when the MCU started for him. So it quite literally is a thing he's grown up with. So for him, like the MCU isn't just like, hey, I like these movies. That is like a part of his like upbringing. So for her to be playing this character, that's fucking perfect. My God, that's like you couldn't ask for a better situation.
I'm very happy for this young actor, and I enjoy everyone in the movie. I saw someone I know was like, I hate the mom. I'm like, yo, why do you hate the mom? Yo, like she's a mom.
She's a Muslim mom, dude.
Like I thought that like the mom was going to be like the mom from like the grandmom from Encanto or some shit. The way this person was talking, and I'm just like, yo, what? Like,
no, she's. I need people to. I
hate people. I hate everybody. I hate everybody.
I need people to
listening, but I hate everybody else.
I need people to understand cultures, dude. Like I need y'all to branch out. Like she's quite literally a devout Muslim woman, dude. Like imagine a world in which superheroes exist. Your daughter idealizes one of them, who is a white woman who wears a skin-tight outfit, has short cropped hair. She's like, this is like the opposite of everything we believe, right? Like, there's a reason why Kamala Khan's costume looks like it looks, right? Like, it's not supposed to look like a traditional superhero skin-tight leotard type costume. There are cultural differences that they were trying to respect, because that is, if this shit was real, that is how they would operate. Like, all right, you're a superhero, but like, I'm not going to dress like that. Like, she's just not going to dress like that. So she has it's almost like a sari type style to her outfit. Like, it makes sense that the mom would be very strict. It makes sense that the dad would be very strict. Like, that's the culture, dude. Like, that's the culture. Like, so, you know, this is obviously Pakistani culture. It's obviously Muslim culture. Like, Pakistani culture and, like, Indian culture, they're the same fucking people. Okay, like, spoiler alert. Like, there's shit that happens in the show that I was like, yeah, that looks very familiar. Like, from my wife's family to this family. Like, yeah, there's things that they say and, like, just, like, worldview type of things. Yeah, like, they nailed it, dude. Like, they super fucking nailed it. And it's dope. Like, if you don't understand the culture of it, I get that, but like, relax. Stop thinking of them as just like white Americans. Like, they're not. They're not. So it's
also the culture aspect. I mean, the culture aspect is not. This is what I never understand. Like that, it is not about them being Muslim or Pakistani. Like it is. It literally is not. They just happen to be that way. Right? Like if this was a young kid from set in Boston and their parents were first generation Irish, you know, speaking Gaelic or whatever, like you're trying to tell me that people would understand that, but that family dynamic, but not this? Like, right. I don't know.
The family dynamic is not even complex.
And the show is right. And the show is not about that. The show is about this. The show is about, it's a Spider-Man it's a Spider-Man origin, guys. It's
very
a Spider-Man
similar. Yeah, it's very similar.
You know, young person gets bestowed power. And then I'm sure that she's going to figure out that with great power, there must also come great responsibility at some point. And look, I don't, because I'm getting mad and I don't want to get mad about other people. Like, this show is fucking dope, man.
It's very good.
Shout out to Adil and Bilal, who were the directors of this first episode. They also directed Bad Boys for Life.
Oh, it's those guys? That's awesome.
Yeah.
Okay.
And I like Bad Boys for Life. So,
yeah, it's fun.
And they're doing Batgirl.
Hey, man. Like, all right. Look, Bad Boys for Life's got some pretty decent action, man. So I'm looking forward to that.
Hey, I'm with it.
So yeah, look. Also, I wanted, all of the family members I thought were really, really great. Like, they really were. I also like Matt Lintz, who plays Bruno. He's like the man in the chair. He's like the tech whiz, which I like. I like Kamal and Bruno's relationship. I thought that was pretty fun. But I'm looking forward to how they're doing this. You know, there is talk that Lockjaw is possibly showing up in this, which should be fun to see.
For you.
A giant space dog.
Giant dog.
But I think that they're not going to run away from her inhuman, background. It'll be interesting. I think those bands that she wears, I think you're going to come to find out that they're going to pull like a Wanda situation of like, it wasn't the experiment that gave Wanda her powers. She actually already had them. They were already latent. And I think that's going to be the same thing. Perhaps they don't do that until Marvels, which is probably when that kind of will be revealed. But my guess is the band is not going to be the thing that gives her powers ultimately. So yeah, look, all in all, I thought it was awesome. I really, really thought it was quite great. So we'll see what happens.
Yeah, it'll be interesting to see. You know, you mentioned about like who the possible villain could be. The stinger, the mid credits scene featured a guy from Damage Control. So I'm guessing it's going to be them. Maybe tracking her and trying to, like, I don't know, abscond with her or whatever. I don't know.
Who knows?
I don't think this show needs a villain per se.
No, I don't think so either. Not in a traditional sense.
I think this show needs to be a story about her kind of getting these powers, being kind of goofy with them, being kind of a dick with them, and then realizing, oh shit, I was a dick, and like the powers don't make the person makes the powers. You know what I mean?
Yeah, it's a classic story. It's a classic Spider-Man story, like you said. So, yeah, I'm here for it, man. Again, I think it's one of the best opening episodes they've had on a Disney Plus series. And I love the art, like having the animated artwork and stuff as part of the actual narrative storytelling. I did not think when the first trailer came out, I said like, this is not going to be a thing they do throughout the whole series. Apparently I was super wrong. And you know what? I'm glad I was wrong, because it works. It totally works. And it does bring a different, unique style to that character. So that's just kind of fun. So,
yeah.
All right.
Makes me super excited to see her in the Marvels too. You know what I mean?
Oh, absolutely. Absolutely.
Like eventually she's going to meet Captain Marvel. Like that's gonna be fun, man.
I think she's gonna meet her in this series. I would not be shocked if they bring in Brie Larson for this. I would not be shocked.
Yeah.
Just like, look, last moment, right? Like that last like 5 minutes of the season, like bring her in and she just like fangirls out and goes fucking crazy. Like, holy shit. Like, all right, we need to chat. Like, oh shit. Here we go. All right. Topics this week.
Deadline Hollywood is exclusively reporting that Marvel Studios' top secret Thunderbolts movie looks to have gained momentum. They have learned that Jake Schreier is set to direct, and I guess Black Widow writer Eric Pearson is penning the script, and Kevin Feige is, of course, producing. Not much is known about the plot, other than the film revolves around a group of supervillains, or at least characters who have played bad guys at one point, who go on missions for the government. They don't really know which characters are going to be on the team yet. Sources are saying that Marvel has been in touch with certain individuals who are already a part of the MCU to make sure they keep an opening in their schedules for next summer when it shoots. Some of the characters that are potentially going to be starring include Baron Zemo, Yelena Belova, Ghost from Ant-Man, Taskmaster, Abomination, U.S. Agent, and the Winter Soldier. What do you think of and Thunderbolt Ross? But what's his name passed away, right? So
yeah, William Hurt.
If they do, they're gonna have to find another dude. But what do you? Although I don't. Why would he? I mean, they have Contessa. Let Contessa be there.
Yeah, I feel like that's. I think this article just has that wrong. Like, I just don't think they like. why would Ross doesn't like superheroes? Like, why would he wouldn't want to command them? That makes no sense. Though I know he becomes the Red Hulk at one point. Yeah, yada yada yada. But yeah, I think it's likely going to be the Elaine Bennis show. I think Zemo makes sense as the leader. I think Yelena also makes sense. She will have a change of heart at some point and realize that she doesn't want to be a villain and wants to be an Avenger to replace her sister. That seems like an obvious arc for her.
Well, I mean, like, I'm looking at this lineup. I mean, it seems like all these bad guys have already had their come to Jesus moment. Most of them, right? Winter Soldier has. Taskmaster probably. Ghost probably. Yelena definitely. I feel like this is mainly going to be not quite. I've seen people do a comparison like, oh, this is going to be Marvel's Suicide Squad. No, I don't think it's going to be their Suicide Squad. Suicide Squad characters, they are villains. Like, they are straight up like
expendable villains,
guys, right? Like,
right, and expendable.
Like, I feel like, or maybe that's the rub, right? You bring a bunch of people you bring a bunch of loners together, and then that's the dynamic, right? How are we going to get through this mission with Baron Zemo thinking he's the leader, Yelena not trusting anybody, Ghost being weird, Taskmaster being weird. Abomination thinking, I don't need these guys, I'm fucking huge, and U.S. Agent thinking he's the leader, right? Like, I can see U.S. Agent and Baron Zemo, like, that being the main dynamic, right? That being
that makes sense.
The Leonardo and Raphael dynamic of the team, right?
Yeah, I could see that. I could see that.
So, all right, yeah, I can see this working.
So I would add one other character to this, who has been in the Thunderbolts, who I think would be interesting. Punisher. I could see Punisher possibly getting brought in for that. Look, he's coming. Like, let's get real. He is. Like, he's either going to be on this team or he's going to be on the Midnight Suns. So, or Marvel Knights or whatever they call them. Like, it's going to be one of those two teams.
If he's coming, I'm very curious to see how they handle the Punisher.
What? That nigga from DC?
Yeah.
Wayne Jenkins from Baltimore. Man. You know what? I don't even want him to wear a different wig. I want him to show up as a plainclothes cop from Baltimore.
With that accent. With that accent.
What's this? Pat Ron?
Well, you know, they killed my family, man. They killed my family, you know. I mean, hypothetically, you know, if we, you know, found some money and just, you know, kept it, what would you say to that?
John Barenthal is an excellent actor. He was a real piece of shit on that show. I loved it. He was so good. Get that OT. That OT.
You know, you got to get that OT, man. You know, it's like, yo, Jenkins a wild boy, yo. Like, we were just getting OT and we wouldn't even show up. Like, goddamn. We was at a strip club on.
Those niggas was pieces of shit. Yeah, they really were. Oh, Baltimore City Cops. Wow. Great show, by the way. So yeah, look, I don't mind this lineup. I think you're right. U.S. Agent and Baron Zemo being the sort of Leonardo Raphael dynamic. I think that makes most sense considering they clashed previously. Like, that totally makes sense. You know what I kind of do want though? I want it to be a heist. I kind of want it to be a heist. Like give these guys. I guess maybe that's a little too close to Suicide Squad actually, but a heist would be kind of fun. But you know, there's also the other idea, which is to just make them exist as a group inside the MCU, doing like having direct interactions with, you know, some of the folks, like some of the big heroes. I think it'd be kind of cool to have somebody who's got maybe a little bit of magic behind them. Somebody who's like a Thor level type character. I know when they did the Dark Avengers, they had, who's the God of War? What's his name?
Ares?
Ares. Yeah. Ares was like the stand-in for Thor. So, I could see that. But it depends. Like, Yeah. Yeah. I mean, Zeus exists. He's going to be in the next fucking Thor movie. Yeah.
I know
So
Zeus exists, Hercules exists, Thor exists. I guess Marvel has an Ares.
yeah, they do. So yeah, who knows? I don't know what this is going to end up being, or like where this lives inside the MCU. But I'm happy to see like U.S. Agent getting pushed up to the movie level, because I thought he was pretty good. Like that guy was a real piece of shit, and I want to see him kick around in the regular universe too. So.
Oh yeah, I remember Ares now. I don't like Marvel's Ares.
I don't like that design.
I like DC's Ares better. Get out of here, man.
Yeah, I'm not a fan of that design. It's like a rock and roll Viking or some shit. Like it's not a good look.
Yeah, get out of here, man. I don't like that. I don't like that at all.
Yeah.
John Hamm is going to be in the next season of Fargo. Cool. I mean, I don't really have much to say. John Hamm's a great actor. He's killing it in these progressive commercials, where he's just got like a big old hard on for Flo, and Flo is just like either oblivious or just wants no part of him.
Perfect for John Hamm.
They're really funny. John Hamm's a funny dude, man. Like he's one of those assholes that's like good looking and funny.
Yeah, it's really not okay.
Don't appreciate it, John Hamm. Don't appreciate that at all. But look, Fargo. I've only seen one episode of Fargo, and that was the Chris Rock season. One season, yeah, the like season 4, like that.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
And it was good. I enjoyed it. So we'll give this a shot, and I think my wife might be sweet on John Hamm also. So that'll give her an excuse to watch it.
Yeah, I mean, John Hamm is one of those guys. Like, you're right. Like he's a real piece of shit, because it's like, dude, you can't also be funny.
Yeah, he's funny and charming and handsome. Like, all right, dude. All right, come on. And has straight teeth. Like, get the fuck out of here, man.
You need something wrong with you. You need something wrong with you. Like you do.
Really,
it's not fair.
You really do.
Next up. Can't wait.
Sorry, I just saw this. Anthony Hopkins.
Sir Anthony Hopkins.
Excuse me. Sir Anthony Hopkins has been cast in visionary director Zack Snyder's Rebel Moon. Look, I want to see this movie. I do. I really do. And I'm not like one of those Zack Snyder like uber fans, right? But I'm not like one of the Zack Snyder haters that just hate Zack Snyder just to backlash at the uber fans. Right. Like, I think Zack Snyder has a tremendous like visual eye, except in like Army of the Dead for some strange reason.
That movie was not good.
Like literally nothing was in focus. But
that's what it's like in a zombie world, bro. Nothing's in focus, man.
I don't expect much from a Zack Snyder movie, but the one thing I do expect is for it to look excellent.
Yeah, it should look pretty.
And Army of the Dead just did not look good. It really did. But but all those other movies, like, I can find something visually appealing about them.
Yeah.
So I'm very curious of what his visual take of what Star Wars is going to be. And look, if it's good enough for Sir Anthony Hopkins, then it's good enough for us, right?
Is it? Yeah, he will be playing, according to Deadline, Hopkins will voice Jimmy, is the character's name, Jimmy, an impossibly sentient JC-1435 mechanized battle robot and one-time defender of the slain king. That's a wild move to bring in Anthony Hopkins and have him voice a murder bot. Like, that's just crazy.
I love it.
So is he C-3PO, right? Like, he's a like battle hardened C-3PO. That's how I read this.
No, he is for you gamers out there. He is HK-47, which spoiler alert, was the droid that Darth Revan used. HK-47 was Darth Revan's C-3PO. Darth Revan was an asshole and as such, HK-47 is a fucking dickhead.
Wasn't he the one referring to humans as meat bags?
Meat bags, yes. Yo, I love HK-47.
He was a great character. All right, that's cool.
Yeah, Anthony Hopkins as HK-47. That is fine with me, man.
Yeah, okay. Like, it'll be interesting. There's also, like, in this article, there's a shot of one of the characters standing in some smoke or whatever, and they're like, oh my god, this was shot on an iPhone. Amazing. I was like, it's just a woman standing, guys. Just calm down. Have you seen an iPhone 13? I have one. Like, they're really good. Like, they will shoot footage incredibly clear. Like, the phone didn't, like, do the makeup. Like, the phone didn't make the outfit. Relax. But yeah, look, I think he does have an aesthetic. I don't generally mind it. I'm normally not a huge fan of his, like, sort of drab color palettes. But, like, character design and shit like that has never been anyone's problem with Zack Snyder. I don't know why people are like, look how amazing it looks. Like, yeah, dude. Like, we all went and saw Sucker Punch because it had hot chicks fighting giant samurai. We were all in. They had jetpacks, my nigga. We were all in. That wasn't the problem with the movie. The problem was the writing. Like, that's what I care about. Is this going to be written well? I don't know. I can't wait to see his perspective on Star Wars, though. I really can't. When does this come out? Is it like 2023 or something?
Not soon enough for me.
No,
how about that?
Can't wait. I can't wait to see what he does, dude. Oh, niggas are gonna lose their minds, yo. They're gonna tell you that the Star Wars was never as good as Rebel Moon 8 minutes after this thing posts online. It's the greatest movie ever.
Done it. I'm supposed to already be watching the iPhone footage of the woman in the smoke.
I saw one guy said that looks better than any MCU movie, hands down. That's what he said. Okay. For real, yo. For real. These people are in a cult. Right. They're in a fucking cult.
They really are, man.
Yo, you're in a cult, really yo. Yo, it's an image of a woman standing in front of smoke, yo. It's just a dry ice machine behind her, yo. Relax.
I mean, Jesus Christ. Pick up a heavy metal magazine, yo.
You're right. Like, yo, come on. Calm down. Like, he fucking relax. You fucking loser. So, yeah. Okay. Anthony Hopkins in Rebel Moon. But the cast for Rebel Moon is actually pretty good, right? They got Digimon Hansu. They got Sophia Botello's back. I think she's kind of like a main, one of the main actresses. So, yeah. Okay. That's cool. Again, that's not really the problem. It's always the writing. Hey, Father's Day is coming up, guys. Balls. Okay, that's what you need to worry about. Your dad's balls, your husband's balls. And the reason why we bring up balls is because you need to go to manscaped.com, use the promo code Those Nerds, all one word. You get 20% off, free worldwide shipping on Manscaped's many, many products, including the Lawnmower 4.0. Look, if you want to take the Captain Morgan stance, get yourself a little mini barrel, stand up there, get it done, clean it up, so you can impress your wife on Father's Day and be like, hey, you know what happens tonight? Once a year. Come on, right? That's what happens.
If you are friends, with benefits, with a soup that can shrink down to the size of an atom, and do some things to you down there, you don't want that soup to get lost in your hairy bush. Get the lawnmower 4.0. It trims all that for you. So then when that soup goes in, they won't have to sneeze and have a terrible accident. Getting Manscaped can save your life.
Big facts.
All you have to do is go to manscaped.com and use the code Those Nerds. That's the only way they'll send it to you, by the way. That's the only way that they will send it to you. They will only send you the Manscaped Performance Package 4.0 if you use the code Those Nerds. Otherwise, they won't send it.
Yeah, they'll take your money, but they won't send it. That's how it works.
Be like, what the fuck? This is a scam. Then they'll be like, did you use the code those nerds? And they were like, no. And it was like, well, that's why.
Yeah. Learned your
Buy
lesson.
another one and use the code.
This time. All right. More topics this week. They can't stop. They won't stop. Warner Brothers put out an article, or there was an article written about Warner Brothers last week. We didn't even talk about it, where they're like, we're sticking with Ezra Miller. We ain't going nowhere. Going down with the ship. We're behind our friend here, and we're gonna make shit happen. Well, it's been exactly 1 week, and here's why they should deeply, deeply regret this. Many of us said this in the fan group, like they are going to regret this decision. And it took about a week for us to be proven right. Flash star Ezra Miller has now been accused of supplying a minor with drugs and alcohol, and is being accused by that minor's parents of grooming. Now the minor is now 18 and says, "Hey, nothing, I'm good, nothing happened." But the parents are like, "Nah, ain't no nothing happened. Bullshit." Apparently Ezra Miller gave the kid alcohol, marijuana, and LSD. And according to TMZ reporting, they also endangered the kid in using violence and threats of violence. The underage girl reportedly visited Miller on the set of the Fantastic Beasts movie in 2017 as their friendship developed. The actress is said to have supplied alcohol, marijuana, and LSD. The parents also claim to have she had flown out to Miller's Vermont home in January to pick up their daughter, only to discover that she didn't have her driver's license, car keys, and bank card and other items needed to navigate life independently. Apparently because Miller was holding those things hostage. And bruises were also found on the girl's body that are said to be caused by Miller as well. Yeah, so you guys want to dump Ezra Miller now, or you want to just you guys want to just keep going, right? Like you're just gonna keep going. Like this is not good. This is gonna just get worse.
They probably have a significant amount of the movie shot, right?
Oh, it's done. As far as I understand.
Yeah, so it's probably done, and they don't want, and they have too much money invested into it at this point. It wouldn't be me. You got to do what they did with Kevin Spacey in that one movie, and just reshoot every scene that he's in with somebody else. And look, I know it's a tall order, right? Like it's not my money, but at the same time, nah. At this point, you might as well just scrap the whole thing, and the whole thing just don't come out. At this point.
It's a lot of money invested in this movie, man. Like, here you go,
man.
It is. Here you go. But, here's corporatism versus caring about people. He's going to put a movie out there with a person who's being accused of grooming, a person who is accused of violence against others and threatening to kill people. He's going to make that movie. He's going to put it out. Okay.
It can't I don't know. I'm not a corporation, but I would just kind of call it a wash, man. Like this movie can't be that good. This movie can't be that good.
The reviews of this movie, the early screening reviews of this movie have said it's excellent. Which fucking sucks.
No,
they're like, it's super good. So I don't know. Maybe he learned to run. You don't know. You got Michael Keaton on. Like you're not going to throw away a Michael Keaton movie. You're just not. You're not. I think you're better off. I agree with you, actually. I think you're better off just fucking Kevin Spacey-ing that shit and just get a different actor to come in and re-record those scenes, or CGI it over him. I don't know. I mean, that's a tall order too. But
I mean, look, we were talking about Zack Snyder. Zack Snyder did that. Zack Snyder did that in Army of the Dead with some dude who was being a creep.
Oh, it was Chris D'Elia.
And he put Tig Notaro in that role.
Yeah, that's right.
And just shot around and reshot the whole thing. and that was like that's some dope shit, right? Like,
yeah, to his credit,
not to his, like that should be the shit that Zack Snyder fans should be like yelling from the mountaintops. That's what they need to focus on,
right?
Not his take on fucking asshole Superman, like because Zack Snyder, for all of his like Ayn Randian bullshit, comes off as a very like progressive guy.
Yeah, to an extent. Yeah.
Weird.
Yeah, well,
so
libertarians are pretty weird. They are. They're fucking weird.
So yeah, it can be done. It's just a matter of like who has the scruples to do it.
I just
apparently
like
not Warner Brothers.
Like, dude, you're gonna put that movie out? Okay, this movie doesn't come out, I think, until the fall, right? You gonna put this movie out? Or no, it's 2023. What am I talking about? You got all this time. You're gonna leave this movie out. You don't know what's gonna drop about Ezra Miller between now and then. What if they do something even crazier, dude? What if they do something even crazier? Then what are you going to do? You're getting to a point where you're running against a deadline where then you're going to have to either scrap the movie and then you have nothing, which is crazy, or you put it out and you risk people protesting it because of Miller's actions, which doesn't look good either, right? Because even if the movie is good, people are just like, nah, fuck that movie. Yo, just put somebody else in that role, man. Just put someone else in that role. But look, I also get it from their perspective, not from a money perspective, but if you're putting the movie out and you come out and you're like, yeah, we're getting rid of Ezra Miller, people are like, why am I going to see your movie?
Nah. If you get somebody better, people will forget about that shit. Maybe not the hardcore like Snyder people. But
no, but even now, dude, I don't even think they're like, no, we got to keep Ezra Miller around. Like, I think even they're like, I don't know, man. He got to fucking.
Oh no, this is it, right? Like, this is it. This is, they are cutting ties after that. Boy, god damn it. Like not only can they just like not do this, like they just got bad luck, yo. Like.
This ain't their fault. This ain't WB's fault.
Like, come on, like you got Ben Affleck as Batman. Oh shit, like fucking awesome, right? Ben Affleck is a good actor, right? But like he got drinking problems, and now he don't want to do it because asshole fans and shit. And you got Gal Gadot, who God love her, like she can't act, Joe. Like she's not a very good actress. Like she's just not an actor. She's just not.
That is Zack Snyder's fault. That is Zack Snyder's fault.
Not for the character, not for that specific character.
Right. Like, look, you want to put her in Red Notice and shit like that, that's fine. But like that role, Wonder Woman carries a lot of shit behind it, man. Like, nah, she doesn't have the gravitas as an actress. And that's not trying to be
You got Jason Momoa as Aquaman, like, oh shit, like this is a fresh take on a badass Aquaman. And you put him in this movie, oh shit. And his love interest is embroiled in this fucking controversy.
Right, that ain't WB's fault, man. That's fucked up.
Like, god damn.
Yeah, that's just bad luck. It's just bad luck. It's just bad luck. So,
I think we've done what we wanted to do, and we need to broom this whole thing fast. We need to just blow this shit up and start over, man.
Yeah, I don't know that you need to redo the whole movie. Get Industrial Light and Magic to get in there and be like, put someone else in this role, please.
No. When I say start over, I mean start the whole fucking thing over. Start everything over, yo. Start everything over. Like, none of this stuff from Man of Steel on exists anymore. Look, start the whole thing over.
Zaslav, who is in charge of WB Discovery, said that Henry Cavill is aging out of the role of Superman. He's 39. No, he isn't. Superman is one of those roles that actually plays even better older.
Yeah, because everybody needs a dad, right? Like everybody.
Right, he's supposed to be the dad of the fucking universe. Like, nah, like he's not aging. aging out. Why does Superman need to be 25? Like he don't. Like he actually shouldn't be. Like we want.
Yeah, that's like some New 52 Superman shit.
Like
you know, what I mean,
like,
nobody wants that.
I want an adult as Superman. You know, like I want a grown ass man as Superman. Like 39 is a perfectly fine age if you can keep up the physique or whatever. It's a perfectly fine age to play Superman. He's not aging out of that role. That's ridiculous. Like, oh, let's make him a teen. No, let's not. Like, let's not do that. That seems very silly. Yeah, all right. Good luck with all that, WB. Get rid of it. Just get rid of it, dude. Just get rid of all of the bullshit and just be like, we're done here. We're just done. Get rid of it. I got to tell you, man, I wasn't the biggest Joseph Kosinski fan until recently because I did not care for Oblivion, which was a Tom Cruise movie. I just visually looked interesting. Not a fan of it. But after Top Gun Maverick, I kind of want to see this. Apple confirms deal with Brad Pitt Formula One film from Top Gun Maverick director Joe Kosinski. Look, you gonna shoot a Formula One movie with Joe Kosinski's eye for like detail and like in the cockpit type of shit in Formula One with Brad Pitt as a star? Yeah, I'm gonna watch that. And it's an Apple TV movie and they don't bullshit. Like they put in real money on their movies. Yeah, I'm here for this. Like this should be pretty goddamn fun. So yeah.
Yeah. Okay. Maybe this will be the thing that really gets me into Formula One.
Tell you, man, go watch that movie Rush. It's really good.
So yeah, that would be the only reason I would want to see this. Just for the spectacle of it. And to see 100%. what kind of techniques, because like when you shoot like cars on film, like you don't really get the proper sense of speed. I don't think.
No.
Until you're like in like a cockpit view or a first person view. And then it's like you see stuff whipping by you quickly. Like that's what I want out of that's all I want. I just want like all that cool like feeling of speed without having to actually feel the speed.
Yeah, I don't ever need to be driving like 250 miles an hour. Like I don't need that. You know, that's fucking terrifying. If you're like, yeah, bro, that would be awesome. Nah, bro, it would not be awesome. Fuck that.
Yo.
No, thank you.
I can't even jump on a fucking trampoline for extended periods of time.
No,
I can't.
I was there. He cannot.
Yeah, nah. Fuck that.
Yeah, look, I think that would be really cool. Look, I think they should take a couple pages out of Drive to Survive's playbook, right? Like the way that show is shot. I mean, that's obviously real Formula One racing. They don't fake anything, but they do a combination of like in the cockpit shooting, but they're showing you like the racer's face, right? Which is important, obviously, for a movie in Hollywood. But they also like slow-mo around certain parts. They pull the camera back, like they pull it up and back so you get to see perspective of them like making turns and shit, hairpin turns at 200 miles an hour. Like that kind of stuff really brings home the fact of like how fucking terrifying it is and how quick you have to be. So yeah, man, I'm all in for this. It says Kosinski will produce his untitled feature alongside Jerry Bruckheimer. Again, fucking Top Gun. And Chad Oman of Jerry Bruckheimer Films, 7-time Formula One champion, fucking Lewis Hamilton, and Plan B will all be serving as executive producers. Yes, the greatest living, or not, maybe a lot of people would argue one of the greatest living racers, certainly right now, Lewis Hamilton. Having him produce is cool because then it'll be somebody who actually really has real racing experience. Like he ain't raced 35 years ago. He raced 35 minutes ago. Like, and that dude is amazing. So, yeah, I'm all in for this, man. I think this is going to be great. Also, by the way, Top Gun Maverick, now officially Tom Cruise's biggest movie of all time. I think it's just under or just about to pass $600 million. And look, if this wasn't a pandemic movie, this movie would have made $1 billion. I don't doubt it at all.
That's why the movie's been done for like 2 years. Like that's why the movie has not been released, because Tom Cruise was like, no, you have to show this in the theater.
Yeah.
But Tom, we've got this streaming service. I don't give a fuck about your streaming service.
And Tom Cruise was like, I'm gonna will this shit to happen. They were like, you're right. Like, Tom Cruise know what the fuck you're talking about.
Because willing it to happen kind of makes it seem like he's the underdog in that situation and he's trying his best to make it happen.
Yeah.
No, Tom Cruise put his fucking dick on the table and said, look, if you want to keep sucking this Paramount, you're going to do what the fuck I say.
And they were like, when's Mission Impossible coming out? Like, yay! We love those movies, you crazy fuck. God bless him. Or Xenu, I guess. All right, let's get into bless him. I mean, that's what he believes. It's weird. All right, let's get into trailers this week. Before we do that, go to the nerdpocalypse.com/premium. For $5 a month or $50 a year, you get access to the premium slate of podcasts, including the airing of grievances, No Time to Bleed, The Man with the Golden Tongues, Upstage Conversation, and the full episode of the Look Forward Political podcast, which I was listening to today because Jay was late again. It's not my fault. Hey, man, look, next week's going to be dope. We're going to have clips from those fucking Jan 6 hearings. Shit's going to be crazy. Who doesn't want to hear me and Brad talk about the madness that is our political system right now? We're all going to die. All right. Trailers this week. First full trailer for Neil Gaiman's Sandman coming to Netflix. This is a series. Look, I never read Sandman. I've always wanted to. And this really makes me kind of want to read it. I think this looks interesting. Like, I don't have any like major like this happens in the comics versus this thing because I don't know. So I don't know how hard tied this is to what the original comics are. But I think this looks really interesting and unique. So I'm here for it.
In 1916, Morpheus, the King of Dreams, and one of the 7 Endless is captured in an occult ritual after being held captive for 105 years. He escapes and sets out to restore order to the kingdom of the dreaming. A friend of mine she was really, really into Sandman and said, hey, you should probably read this. You like Neil Gaiman, you like American Gods, you should probably read this. And I just never got around to reading it. I regret that. And maybe I will actually get up because I need something new to read. I'm tired of reading Star Wars books. I need something different. So maybe I will go out and read this because everyone who has read this says it is amazing.
Yep, pretty much. All right.
Oh, Patton Oswalt and Mark Hamill are doing voices in it.
Oh, that's cool. Well, I mean, Patton Oswalt makes all the sense in the world. He is a giant nerd. But yeah, I think Sandman looks interesting. Yeah, I'm here for it. I'm here for it. So we shall see. I'm gonna, waste time here as I'm bringing
Next up is the Terminal List. The series it's a television series, which kind of bums me out. The series follows James Reese, played by Chris Pratt, after his entire platoon of Navy SEALs is ambushed while on a covert mission. Reese returns home to his family with conflicting memories of the event and questions about his culpability. As new evidence comes to light, Reese discovers dark forces working against him, endangering not only his life, but the lives of the ones he loves. Yeah, I'm all for this.
Oh, I know you are, buddy. This is right up your fucking alley.
This is fucking military bullshit, man. I was a little dejected when I found out it was a series. I'm much more of a movie guy.
Yeah.
But I will show this to my wife, who is also into this fucking military shit. And she is into television. And if she gets into this trailer, then I know I got a buddy to watch it with. I got a buddy that can drag me through, however many episodes this is. The biggest problem for me I see is that I'm going to have to remember that it's on Amazon Prime.
No, you're not.
I don't like.
Mike, it's based on a book. This is based on a book. Of course, it's on Amazon Prime. I'm surprised it's not just called Terminal. To be honest, that's sort of the thing, or John Terminal. Yeah, look, I'm gonna watch the shit out of this. Like who are we kidding, right? Like, the militarization of all. Yeah, whatever. This shit looks good. Like, it just looks good.
I mean, I saw a bunch of military dudes and guns and Antoine Fuqua, and I'm like, well, that's a hat trick right there. That's a turkey. That is
right. He gonna
nail it because Antoine Fuqua, I don't know, he's not directing every episode, but his fingerprints are all on it, and he makes fucking man movies, yo. He makes fucking dick flicks, man.
Yeah, he does.
And he makes real fun ones. Yeah. To varying quality. But yeah, I'm gonna watch the shit out of this, man.
Absolutely. So it seems like very easy pickings. if I'm being honest. Like, this shit is it's just going to be real easy for me to get into with no problem. Okay. All right. Here we go. Here we fucking go.
The actor that takes himself very, very, the actor who for years has gone by a pseudonym, a mononym of Rocky, the guy who named himself fucking after a piece of granite, is here finally after nearly 5,000 years of promoting this movie.
I'm free.
Nearly 5,000 years after he was bestowed with the almighty powers of the Egyptian gods and imprisoned, just as quickly, Black Adam is freed from his earthly tomb, ready to unleash his unique form of justice on the modern world. Black Adam is here, guys. Black Adam is coming, and I can't believe it. We have a trailer.
All right. All right. Okay.
What do you think of it?
It's fine. It's fine. He was cast in this role literally 14 years ago. It's fine. I think that this movie is.
Look at you trying to be fair. You don't have to be fair with me. You don't have to be fair with me. All right.
It's just you and I, right? It's just you and I. No one else is watching. I think this looks like a big bowl of meh. All right, and here's the thing. Here's the thing. I'm calling it right now. I'm calling it right fucking now. The movie's success, and it will be successful. This movie will make $1 billion. I can guarantee you, right? Because this has a very Aquaman 1 feel to it, right? Like, looks like fun for everyone, and that's fine. There's nothing wrong with that. That's not my issue with this movie. But I'm gonna tell you something right now. The success of this movie will be completely because of the JSA. It will not be. That's what people will talk about after this movie. They're not going to talk about Black Adam. Every comment I have seen that's been positive has been, yo, Dr. Fate looks awesome. Hawkman looks awesome. The JSA is what's going to get people to this movie. Black Adam is just there as a convenience. I'm telling you. It's not going to be because of The Rock. It won't be.
Black Adam, the character, feels like Master Chief in Halo. I'm talking about the Halo video games. I kind of dropped off on the Halo television show.
Yeah, I stopped watching that too.
Yeah, I mean, come on.
I'm like, yo, put the helmet on, my nigga. Put the helmet on.
yeah. Come on, what are you doing? He's a cipher, right? He's something that he
no,
is
Micah,
the character.
No, Micah, he's a slave. He's a slave.
I'm so fucking tired of hearing him say that shit. Like, I'm so fucking, like, I get real annoyed when I hear The Rock say, He was a slave. Like, that's why this character spoke to him, because he was a slave. Nigga, you have not been a slave. Get the fuck out of here. He's a cipher. And you know, he's the character that the audience can imprint on in the film.
Sure.
I'm getting real big Hancock vibes from this.
Yeah, you told me that.
and it's not.
It feels like that, dude. It really does.
And I didn't really care for Hancock, man. I really didn't.
Nobody.
I think
did.
Hancock was when Will Smith was taking himself just a tad bit too seriously.
Yeah,
you know, wanting to look too much like a badass all the time. You know what I mean? Like badasses don't try to look like badasses. They just are badasses, right? And for someone who looks like a badass, like Dwayne Johnson always tries to look like a badass. And people can see through that shit, man. But yeah, I'm getting Hancock vibes. I'm getting you're right. It looks kind of meh. It didn't help that the trailer came out on a day that a Star Wars episode came out and a new Marvel TV show premiered.
Yeah, dude, what are you doing? What are you doing, WB? Why would you do that?
So it's kind of weird. Pierce Brosnan, look at James Bond. Look at James Bond.
He looks great,
dapper as shit. You're right. The JSA looked pretty great. My biggest concern is the writing, guys. I can forgive a lot, right? I can forgive like the CGI. People have been making comments about how like, well, this scene looks like it was taken from Iron Man, and this scene looks like it was taken from 300, and this scene looks like it was taken from X-Men. Like, movies borrow from other movies. Like Quentin Tarantino's entire oeuvre of film has shots in it from other movies that he grew up with.
Right.
So I'm not mad at that. I am mad at heroes don't kill people. Well, I do. Well,
that's a bad. Bad delivery. Bad delivery.
It's bad delivery.
Terrible
it's a bad
writing.
line.
Yeah.
It's. Well, I do. What is the response? Well, okay then.
Why is Black Adam and Hawkman having a WWE stare down? Like, just put Triple H in that scene. It's the same thing. Why are they doing that? Like, it's fucking weird. It's fucking weird.
I just, the writing is not going to be good, guys. The writing is not going to be good.
Wait, whoa. The team who brought you Jungle Cruise is not going to nail it? Is that what you're telling me? That's what you're telling me?
What I'm telling you is that when this movie comes on streaming, I will watch it. I'm not venturing out to a theater to see this. I am very curious.
I'll see it if there's a screener. I'll see if it's a screener. I'm not gonna lie to you.
I'm not even doing that. I'm not even doing that.
You are full of shit. You are full of shit.
No, okay. You want to bet? You want to bet?
Come on, man. Don't make me see that alone. Don't make me see it. Come on. We can sit down.
This movie. Don't make me venom this movie.
We can sit down
to watch it.
We can sit down. We were slaves. Watch this movie, dude. Come on, man. It's gonna be awesome. It's gonna be awesome.
I can't, man. I'm willing to watch it, but I am not willing to venture out into a theater to see it.
I mean, that's fair.
Especially not now. I got kids, man. I can't abandon my wife to go gallivanting and watch The Rock talk about he was a slave. I'm a slave. This character, the reason why I gravitate to this character is because he was a slave, guys. He was a slave.
Okay.
No follow up at all, right? Like, he was a slave. So,
Then he became a miserable piece of shit. A self-serious, miserable piece of shit.
Then he became angry at the fucking world. Welcome to being black, Rock. Welcome to being black.
He's like, Jesus cool. Christ. He's like, now I get it. I don't. I think the other thing about this movie that makes it look, for me, rather stale is the timing. Right? You guys are, this is going to be DC's issue for a long time. If they finally they kind of pull themselves out of the mire that they've been in. They're trying to catch up to another universe that has been going for 20 something plus movies and a number of series since 2008 or 2009, right? They are going to have to copy things because there's just not a lot of original shit to do in these movies. Like, comic book characters are similar. So, like, him flying next to the two jets, yeah, it looks familiar. It looks like the scene from Iron Man. Yeah, because that was a decade ago, right? These guys are still you're still trying to do these, like, origin stories. The best thing they can do is to try to jump to kind of a phase 2 sort of situation and get moving. I mean, I appreciate that they put the JSA in, getting more heroes into their universe, but they need to, like, you gotta hurry up and get past all this phase 1 shit. Because it's going to look derivative. Also, The Rock is really bad at, like, the flying scenes. Like, it's not The Rock's fault. It's just how they're shot. They look bad. Like how he floats up, like it looks bad. It looks really bad, and that's not his fault though.
When he's flying next to the planes, it looks like he's like laying on a weight bench, on a green weight bench. Yeah, and they just kind of digitally uninserted. Like I'm looking at the trailer at 121. Like he can't lift his neck up to look forward.
Right.
Right. Like he's
look, here's the thing to borrow from the MCU. Their stuff that they did, like where they would like connect like Robert Downey Jr. like lower on his body so that like the way he moved looked more natural, like instead of just a harness on his back.
It was connected at his center of gravity.
Right.
So that and they lifted him from his center of gravity and not from his back, because if you lift him from your back, it looks like he's being pulled up. Right. Whereas if you lift him from his center of gravity, you still have to kind of balance.
Right.
You know what I mean?
It makes it look a lot more natural.
Yeah, it does. Or you can do what they do in Superman flying scenes. Like record some of that shit, not record it underwater, but get motion capture for a lot of that underwater. Because the resistance in the water is meant to mimic air resistance, wind resistance.
Right.
So,
which is what Guardians did in space.
Right. So it just, look, I'm not here to like shit on anybody's like excitement for this movie.
No.
I'm going to watch it. I'm going to watch it. I'm not going to watch it in the theater, but I'm incredibly curious about it because I find The Rock to be interesting at this point. Like in like a case study of like, you know what I mean? Like, because he's a giant, like walking, like penis, right? Like he's not a dick. He's not a dick, right? In the sense that like, well, that guy's a dick. Fuck that guy, right? Like, no, he's like a giant walking penis in that penises are generally, you know, the thing that makes men, right? They're the masculine part of men, right? Like he is the giant walking embodiment of like hyper masculinity, right? But not in like a toxic way.
Right.
And like those dudes have feelings and they can be insecure. And I think The Rock,
I think that's pretty obvious.
And I think The Rock is a little insecure. Which is why, you know, like I get wanting to be a badass all the time.
Yeah.
But like, look at somebody like Dave Bautista, who really wants to be an actor, guys. Like he really wants to be an actor.
And he takes him seriously.
He takes on roles that are different and he takes on roles that are challenging for him. Whereas The Rock, Dave Bautista treats acting like an art, and The Rock treats acting like a commodity. And that's my biggest issue with The Rock.
Yep.
Is that he treats acting like a business and not an art. Like you got a team of people that can treat art like a business that can treat acting like a business for you, like treat it like art. And that's where I'm disappointed, because he can do it. He can act. Like earlier in his film career, he played a gay hitman at one point.
And be cool. Right.
Yeah. And
he would never do that now. And he would never do something like that. And that's my thing is, I like that ultimately, I agree with you. That's my big issue with him is he's taking what's easy and what makes a lot of money. And dude, I fucking get it, right? I'm not here to spend your money. But like, if you're going to be one of the biggest names in Hollywood, branch out, man, because you actually owe it to your fans, because what you can do is you can get your fans to see more than just dumb dick flick movies, right? Like you can move them, you can sway them into being like, oh shit, The Rock is in this, man, I love The Rock, that's awesome. And then he's in some movie where he's like a sensitive character, or like not a giant walking penis, right? Like you could do that. The problem with that is, in order to play those roles, you got to slim down, dude. You're too big. You're just too big. You're just too big. You can't be, Hollywood doesn't take you seriously as any of these other roles because you're too fucking big. I mean, Dave Bautista talks about that too. Like Dave Bautista talks about that.
Dude. Even John Cena did it. Like people told John Cena, dude, you want to play someone's dad? You can't look like a fucking semi.
You're right.
Because nobody can relate to that. And
you can't, dude. You can't.
And John Cena takes bigger chances in acting.
He does
than The Rock does. And that's my thing, man. I'm just incredibly disappointed, because I feel like The Rock can be a better actor than what he's just kind of putting out.
Yeah, it's like it feels like he's got like a boat to pay for, and he's like, all right, let me just do it. He's like, all right, fine, let me do this like fake Die Hard movie and like a bunch of bullshit movies, and it's like look, do those movies, have fun with those movies. There's nothing wrong with that. Like, look, what was it, Towering Inferno, whatever the fuck that movie was? It was ridiculous.
Yeah, look, I love that movie.
I like that movie. It's fucking stupid, fucking ridiculous. It's ridiculous, but I enjoyed the shit out of it, right? And that's okay. But like, try some other stuff, man. Do some other stuff. Like, look, this Black Adam movie, this is going to be more of The Rock playing himself as a badass than it is going to be him ever even playing Black Adam. And that's what I'm saying. I think the attraction for this movie is going to be the JSA. That's what people are going to be talking about. The Dr. Fate scenes are going to be what people are clamoring for. They're going to want a Dr. Fate movie or a Hawkman movie or any of that shit. But that's what they're going to clamor about. They're going to be like, yeah, Black Adam was fine. Like, whatever. They're going to want those JSA characters to show up in other things. And that might be WB's plan. Like, all right, cool. It's not like outside of Black Adam showing up as the villain in Shazam 3, they have big plans for Black Adam throughout the universe. No. He probably dies or is, officially forever defeated by Shazam in the third movie, and then that's it. So, whatever.
Yeah.
I frankly think he should have just been in that movie, and we didn't need a Black Adam solo movie, but that's just me. This could have just been a JSA movie. Just make a JSA movie. It would have been fine. All right, that is it for us this week. No, what the fuck this week, but we will be back next week. So, any parting words there, Micah?
No, go to bed.
All right, you got 2 episodes of The Boys to watch tomorrow, buddy. Catch up.
1. I got 1. Oh, wait. 2.
No. Yeah, you got 2. Yeah, you got the 3rd episode, and the 4th one comes out tomorrow.
No, we're watching The Staircase tomorrow. It ends tomorrow. That's what I'll be watching.
Are you and your wife watching The Boys together?
No, The Staircase. The Staircase.
No, I know, but you could watch 2 shows.
No.
You're not going to watch 2 shows. I'm not going to watch 2 hours of television.
TV shows? What?
No,
what am I at work? No.
A real job. All right. That's it for us. We will see you guys next week.
See you.